Now, yes, this beer is very high alcohol. We try not to market it that way. This beer also, because it has a high alcohol content, it also has a very intense amount and a lot of complexity of flavor. Because when you add all that alcohol to the beer, that's the finished product, we're using a lot of different malt and a lot of concentration of malt and a lot of special ingredients and special types of yeast to make that beer. In order to get the alcohol that high, we also have to give it a lot of flavor. Now, this took a lot of time to produce, and actually to make one single batch, it generally takes over a year for us to make, which is why we don't release it every single year. Now, you guys did mention that this beer is expensive. It is very expensive. However, Sam Adams, as a company, we do not make a profit on this beer. That's also why we don't make too much of it. We sell it at cost, which is about $130. That's how much it takes us to make a bottle this big. And then at a liquor store, you'll probably get it between that and about $180. And if you find it on eBay, it closer to like $400. So, now, what makes this beer special, in addition to all the alcohol, which actually brings it up to about, it has about 27.4% alcohol by volume. So a little bit more than your Boston Lager, which is 4.9%. You typically don't drink this in a pint glass. Bad idea. Probably like a little snifter glass of sort. People would actually compare this beer more to a cognac than a beer. However, it is defined as a beer because it uses all the main ingredients in a beer. It actually took home the Best Cognac Award at a 2006 Beer Festival.
Are you kidding?
It didn't win in 2007 because by then they knew what it was all about. Now, it does hold the Guinness World Record for the strongest naturally fermented beer in the world. There are some beers out there that have higher alcohol content, but they don't exactly use natural methods. Some might distill or freeze their beer to extract the water, and that's not considered one of the natural, it kind of takes away from the definition of a beer. So this does hold that record. Now we also get the alcohol content really high by using maple syrup. By infusing the beer with maple syrup, it gives it a lot of sugar in addition to the sugar from the malt. And that's going to give the yeast a lot more sugar to ferment into alcohol. And also really that really nice maple flavor. And then we're actually going to age this in bourbon barrels, recycled bourbon barrels from the Kentucky Buffalo Trace Distillery to give you that strong kind of bourbon note in the beer as well. And the yeast itself, we're going to use 3 different types of yeast. We use an ale yeast, like a traditional beer yeast, a wine yeast, and a proprietary strain of champagne yeast. And then we're actually going to infuse this beer with some of our old triple bock, which was our first attempt at an extreme beer, which is going to give you an even stronger kind of malty note. What's that?
So beer is
in that case, a beer would be an ingredient in beer. So yeah, very complex beer, very expensive beer. I believe we're going to be releasing it again in the springtime. Now I'm going to pass this around. It's empty. But you guys have an opportunity to smell it. You'll notice that maple syrup.
I had a case of triple bock. I bought a case of Brewery. Yeah, but that.
It is not carbonated, so you can open that and you can put it on in your liquor cabinet. You can age it for a long time. We actually say that unlike a beer, it gets better with age.
Triple bock. Yeah, I had a bottle of it. And they told you on the little tags to save it because they didn't know what it was going to taste like. And I didn't buy more. My neighbor.
That triple box. It's got the snifters and everything.
Right, I got the little glasses for it.
That's cool.
Sam Adams glasses.
Go through to that.
No, you can't buy utilities here. And it's actually illegal in 12 states.
10% off.
Yeah.
Online, we have a beer finder. Your zip code on our website. We can tell you where we sell certain beers.